Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi to my fellow friends and also our beloved biology lecturer, which is Dr. Akmal Ishaq. So today our group is going to talk about the topic Phylum Chordata. So in this topic we also have a few subtopics, which is the definition of Phylum Chordata, the characteristic of Phylum Chordata, the classification of Phylum Chordata, and finally the phylum evolutionary relationship in animal kingdom. So, first of all, let us know the definition of Phylum Chordata. The phylum name from Phylum Chordata derived from the Greek root word chord, which means string. So, the definition of Phylum Chordata is one of the phyla that belong to the kingdom Animalia that includes all the vertebrates and also the invertebrates. The Phylum Chordata consists of animals with a flexible rod supporting their dorsal or their backside. So, besides, most species within the Phylum Chordata are vertebrates or animal with backbones. So, for the characteristic of Phylum Chordata, we have 7 parts of it. We have muscle segment, muscular post-anal tail, notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, anus, pharyngeal slit, and also mouth. So, for the first one, we have notochord. Notochord is a longitudinal cartilaginous rod running between the nerve cord and the digestive tract. It acts as a support for the nerve cord and is replaced by the vertebral column after membranous stage in all vertebrates. Next, we have dorsal. Dorsal is a bundle of nerves running along the back and splits into the brain and the spinal cord. It is hollow and lies dorsal to the notochord. Moving on to the next one, we have pharyngeal slits. Pharyngeal slits are the opening which allow the entry of water through the mouth without entering the digestive system vis. They connect the mouth and also the throat. All chordates have this opening on the lateral sides of the pharynx at some stage of their life. Number 4, we have post-anal tail. It is an extension of the body to the anus. In chordate, the tail is composed of skeletal muscles which help in locomotion in fish-like species. It is absent in most of the adult chordates. And finally, we have myotomes. The muscles of the chordate body are segmented into blocks. Called myotomes, muscles are attached to the skeletons to provide movement.
Now we will discuss about the classification of Phylum Chordata. There are 4 classifications of Phylum Chordata, which is Urochordata, Hemichordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. The first one is Urochordata. Urochordata is a small marine animals with larvae that swim freely and adults that attach themselves to the ocean floor. It is also known as tunicate because the body of an adult is enclosed within a tunic made up of cellulose-like substance known as tunicins. Other than that, the adults are fixed to the substratum and notochord can be seen only in the larval stage and disappears in adults. Next, the nerve cord present in larva is replaced by the dorsal ganglion in adults. The example for the Urochordata is sea pork and sea fish. The second classification is Hemichordata. Hemichordata is a bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic animal. They are exclusively marine animals and can be solitary or colonies. Hemichordata have a true body cavity or column. The digestive tract is complete with an anus and can be in the form of U-shaped tube or strip. A buccal diverticulum of Hemichordata is present in the proboscis. The example of Hemichordata is the Balanoglossus and the T-Chordera. The third classification is Cephalochordata. The subphylum Cephalochordata composes around 30 species into families, making it the smallest phyla in the animal kingdom. They are also known as equines because they do not possess a true brain, branchies, or cranium as found in the vertebrates. The body of Lanceolus, like other vertebrates, is made up of the segments that are known as metameres. The notochord extends through the entire body and provides the required support to the organisms. For digestion, their mouth is covered with an oral hood that is entrance for incoming food particles. The nervous system is composed of the hollow nerve cord that composes a small wheeling which is barely qualified as the brain. The last classification of phylum Chordata is vertebrata. Vertebrata are the members of the subphylum Chordata, especially those chordates with the backbones or spinal columns. The notochord is replaced by the vertebral columns in adults. This is why it's said that all vertebrates are the chordates, but all chordates are not the vertebrates. The epidermis of the vertebrata is multi-layered. They consist of the three types of muscle strip, arch strip, and cardiac. They also have the well-developed column, and their heart consists of the 3-4 chamber. Other than that, vertebrata have well-developed respiratory and excretory systems. They are unisexual and produce sexually. The example for the vertebrates is a tiger and elephant.
So we're moving to the next part, which is phylum's evolutionary relationship in the animal kingdoms. We were talking about the level of organizations, germ layer, body plans, body cavity, segmentation, or metamerisms. So firstly, we were talking about the level of organizations. We were talking about the parazoa and emetozoa. Parazoa is actually an animal cell are loosely associated and not from a true tissue. For emetozoa is actually an animal with well-defined tissue layer. So next, we're talking about the germ layer. Germ layer actually has three different layers of tissues that's become established during the embryonic developments. There's three different layers of tissues, which is ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Ectoderm is the outer germ layers that have been covering our outer bodies and the nervous tissues. For the second one, which is the endoderm. Endoderm is the inner germ layers that have been lining our digestive tube and other structures such as liver and lung in vertebrates. For the third one, which is the mesoderm. Mesoderm is located between the ectoderm and endoderms. It has been developed other structures such as skeletal structure, muscle, and reproductive organs. There's an animal that only have two layers of tissues, which is ectoderm and endoderms, and it is called diploblastics. For an animal that have all three germ layers, is called triploblastics. Other than that, and sponge lack all three germ layers. Next, we will be moving to the body plan symmetry. We generally know symmetry means there's two objects with the same size and the same shapes. So in biology, it means the arrangement of body structure in the relations of body axis. So there's three types of symmetry, which is bilateral systems, radial systems, and asymmetrical. So for the first one, which is bilateral systems, is actually a system for an animal that only have one plane, or we can say that it can be divided and only can provide two same shapes and size. We can give an example as humans. When we put vertically planes in our body, we'll get two sides that have same size and shapes. For the second one, which is radial systems, is an animal that have multiple planes, such as starfish. For the third one, which is asymmetrical, is an animal that don't have symmetry. Moving to the next part, which is body cavities. Body cavities is a basic structure of an animal that can divide into two, which is primary and secondary body cavities. That latter will be a column. So body cavities is absent in compact animal, which is called a coelomate. And secondary and primary body cavities can fuse and form mixocule. Some animals can have more than one body cavities in their life cycles. And there's some phylogenetics hypothesis that actually involve the evolutionary of body cavities as the center part. Moving to the last part of this subtopic, which is mutation or metamerisms. Segmentation or metamerism is an architectural body plane of an animal that have similar segments and similar organ systems. Segment and organ systems are serially repeated by one after another, and it is called metamery segmentation or metamerisms. Other than that, repeated body segment is also called metamers or somites. There are various advantages that we can see in animals that have segmentation and metamerisms. One of the advantages, which is it can provide an opportunity to the segments to specialize in functions. The functions is analytes. Analytes is segments that can breaking down the organic materials and adding nutrients to the soil. For the second one, which is movements, it can make the animal to move easily by building up the hydrostatic pressure to the selected segment.